Chapter 41 Calculating both Sidesu 0026 NBSP, U0026 NBSP. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Reward permissions are known to be obtained by looting them from other people, but now that I have the buff on my body, I don't know what terrible consequences it will have to kill people easily. The last time he faced Kimchi Bangzi, Tiandao had given him a very stern reminder. It seems that I have to plan a big war to easily obtain more reward permissions. Zhang Chen narrowed his eyes slightly and bit into the skin and flesh of the tusked wild boar. These grilled meats are tender, juicy and delicious. It's oily in one mouthful and crispy and tender in the mouth. Even though there is no seasoning, it doesn't taste greasy. Zhang Chen took advantage of this time to rest and went to chat channel 99 to inquire about the enemy situation. Lord Douglas has been promoted to level 7. It seems that we are sure to win this time. Well, guys, I actually found black tea in this area. That's great. Gentlemen, would you like some tea and some bread? I'm waiting for you here. Just trade the black tea to Mr. Douglas directly. I heard that Mr. Douglas hasn't had black tea for a long time. How's the situation on the other side? I have been monitoring the other side. Their boss is named Zhang Chen, but this guy seems to be a lone wolf. He will not accept help from anyone. And he always trades monster corpses. What a weirdo. Warcraft corpse. Isn't this guy a foodie? No matter what it is, we will win anyway. In fact, everyone was quite critical of Zhang Chen's trading of World of Warcraft corpses. As long as there are corpses, and no more than 5 of them can be charged each time, I don't know what kind of medicine Zhang Chen sells in his gourd. Brother Zhang Chen, the opponent is already level 7, what are you doing? Yes. It's too dangerous to continue like this. We can't lose. If you have any needs, just tell us and we will find a way to help you if we can. Everyone was very excited and wanted Zhang Chen to win, even if it doesn't involve any interests. Facing the provocation and unprovoked attacks of this group of crooked nuts, you still have to win and vent your anger. No matter who it is, as long as they can win and slap these crooked nuts in the face, that's enough. Brother Zhang Chen, please say something. Why don't you speak? Yeah, I'm so anxious. Everyone, since you are interested, I really have some information to provide you. Zhang Chen, who had disappeared for a day, finally spoke. I will announce the area I am in to you. My place is very easy to recognize. People around me can come here. I gathered the corpses of monsters because I found a way to attract a large number of monsters with a large number of corpses. As long as this method is successful, at least 100 or more monsters can be gathered in a short period of time. When the time comes, I need you all to help me trap these monsters, and then I will harvest them. In this way, we can easily surpass the upgrade progress of the Fu country people. Real? As expected of Mr. Zhang Chen, he was able to think of such a method. Zhang Chen, the great god bull, my admiration for you is like the endless stream of a river. Brother Zhang Chen, tell me where you are. Zhang Chen made a detailed plan for his surroundings and sent his location to others to understand in the simplest way, not just the other rabbits, but also the Fugua people. Zhang Chen entered Fuguaran's chat channel, and as expected, the other party was already busy. Everyone clamored to intercept Zhang Chen at this location, and even hoped that Lord Douglas would follow him. Zhang Chen is so stupid, he dares to say that in a public channel. Yes, you stupid rabbits, kill Zhang Chen, and then we will take over and kill all those monsters. Isn't this the best of both worlds? Gentlemen, charge forward and kill all the rabbits. I'm the closest to this place, I can get there in half an hour. To be on the safe side, Douglas decided to continue looking for monsters on his own, and all the gentlemen who are close to Zhang Chen's position should approach Zhang Chen without exposing themselves. Is it exposed? They were exposed. We were exposed too, right? Only then did the gentlemen of the corrupt country realize that they were also chatting on a public screen, so everyone's plans were exposed. It doesn't matter, there are many of us, just kill them. Yeah, we're not afraid, that the two sides are at war with each other. They were full of gunpowder from the beginning, and now they are even more energetic. They have become crazy because of Zhang Chen's plan. Everyone took action because of Zhang Chen's words. Zhang Chen stood there, extinguished the barbecue flames and hid. Everyone, sooner or later a war is bound to start, and starting the war here is a good choice. You helped me voluntarily, I didn't force you to do this. Taking a bite of the barbecue in his hand, Zhang Chen sneered and stayed on top of a mountain, waiting for everyone to arrive. Captain Wang Yu, are we going to help Zhang Chen too? No need, we also need a double insurance. Zhang Chen is very strong and upgrades quickly, but just in case, we have to find a way ourselves. I am not far from level 7 now. I have discussed with Li Ming and the others. They also think that we should have double insurance. Li Ming and Fan Tianao are also not far from level 7. Zhang Chen has fallen. With the help of a few of us, we still have a chance to beat Douglas. Fan Tianao. The team members around Wang Yu said, I don't think I have heard of this person. It seems that he has just appeared. Why would Li Ming choose such a person? This is not what we want to speculate. Let's go, don't waste time. We have too few monsters here. It will be easier to upgrade if we gather more people. Master Zhang Chen it will be a thrilling battle. I hope they are doing well. Lord, check for items that do not require redemption authority. Dark Curtain can effectively isolate everything that happens within a range of 300 meters. It is better to use it at night and lasts for half an hour. Mirror Box, create a confusing illusion, with a range of 100 meters. Lasts for 1 hour. Black Prison, a prison is formed within a range of 100 meters, which is difficult to escape. Lasts for 10 minutes. There are also many items that do not require reward authority, but most of them are one-time use items and are expensive. Choose to redeem the Dark Curtain. Zhang Chen finally chose to redeem the Dark Curtain. The Dark Curtain has the largest range and the highest cost-effectiveness, which is most suitable for this use. After deducting 100 redemption points, the expensive price also made Zhang Chen's heart tremble. The sky was completely dark, and there were more and more noises around, not only monsters, but also human footsteps. Chapter 42, Profit Taker Strengthened. You are listening at novelfull.audio. He's from the Fu country. Do it. Don't let them get there first. Where is Mr. Zhang Chen? What's going on now? Under the moonlight, the swords flashed, and the cold light flew. The two sides were on the verge of fighting, and the blonde and blue-eyed Fugua people looked particularly dazzling in the dark night. More and more people joined the battle, and the sounds of killing shouts and the clanging of swords below could be heard continuously. Originally, Zhang Chen thought that the two sides needed an opportunity to fight. Unexpectedly, the enemy was extremely jealous when they met, and everyone even forgot all about him. They just wanted to kill the opponent in front of them. If you are not of my race, kill, kill, kill. We will avenge our ancestors' hatred. The battle seemed to have formed a refueling tactic, with people constantly joining the battle from a distance. Standing in the distance, Zhang Chen threw a black light curtain into the sky, and then the black light curtain seemed to be opened, dyeing the white moonlight in the sky gray. Under the moonlight, everyone's voices were locked within 300 meters, and outsiders could no longer enter. Even functions such as chat channels are temporarily blocked, but the initiator will not be affected in any way. However, it is naturally impossible for everyone who is already red-eyed to pay attention to these things. Zhang Chen looked at both sides of the battle coldly. Rivers of blood were flowing on the ground, the moonlight in the sky seemed to be dyed red, and the air was filled with a strong smell of blood. Everyone who was able to catch up nearby has already entered the Dark Curtain, and the fighting is still going on. It makes me want to do something. Zhang Chen held back the passion and impulse in his heart and waited for the member who finally won. The total number of people on both sides is about 100, and there are 4 or 5 B-level talents. This is a big deal. Zhang Chen clicked his tongue and shook his head. After the battle, the evolutionary spears of both sides would be greatly weakened. Brothers, I have arrived at the coordinates sent by Zhang Chen, but there is nothing here. Have I come to the wrong place? Brother, where are you? I'll be there soon. I'm here too, I saw you, why is there no one else? Did you look in the wrong place? Boss Zhang Chen. Everyone, you have indeed found the wrong place. You have deviated from the coordinates by nearly 5 kilometers, and there is a problem with my plan. You gatherings should leave quickly, the surroundings are very dangerous right now. Master Zhang Chen, are you in danger? Do you need our help? Did those rotten people start a fight with you? We can also help. The situation is very complicated. I won't be able to explain it for a while. In short, you just need to leave as soon as possible. I don't have time to follow the chat channel in real time. If you don't want to die, leave now. Seeing what Zhang Chen said, everyone had no choice but to leave the current location quickly. They can die, but at least they must die with some understanding and value. It would be too unjust to die in such an unexplained way. Zhang Chen hid behind a dead tree, and the battle inside the dark curtain had reached a fierce stage. Only about 30 people were left standing firmly, at present. It seems that the members on the side of Evolution Spire number 999 have the upper hand. This time, the number of members of Evolution Spire number 999 who came this time was actually less than that of the Fu country people, but the rabbits did not become timid because of the number of people. Instead, they fought harder and harder, winning more with less until now. This situation is wrong. Are we fooled? Why are these sick men so strong? We are more numerous than them. Hurry up and get reinforcements. No, the chat channel seems to be blocked. There is no signal here at all. Yeah, this must be a conspiracy. Let's run away. Gentlemen, keep your grace. You must keep your grace. Even if we leave, we are retreating. You're like your mother, but you're still retreating. You stay here and retreat slowly. Master Douglas, where are you? We need your support. Don't run. Chase them and kill them. Despite the heavy losses, Evolution Spire number 999 was full of momentum. Watching the escaping gentlemen of the corrupt kingdom, they chased and killed them one by one. Leave no one alive, kill them all. It's almost time. Zhang Chen watched as the dark curtain in the sky was slowly weakening, and the power of the dark curtain was about to be exhausted. Redemption dark screen is mainly used to cover the chat channel and people who come close to it later. That is no longer necessary. The remaining 17 or 8 gentlemen of the Rotten Kingdom were being chased wildly. The rabbits behind them were furious. The dark curtain just disappeared and everyone left the 300-meter range. Zhang Chen turned around from behind the dead tree and stared at the corpses on the battlefield. With a move of his hand, a ball of light merged into his body and entered the Lord God. What's going on with you? I've been calling you on the channel for a long time, why did you just reply? In the end, what happened? It's crazy, these rabbits are crazy. Oh. My God, please spare poor old Tom. These Z people are like devils, killing without blinking an eye. This group of people were wailing and couldn't get to the point at all. They had been frightened out of their wits by the Z people who were chasing them behind them. It's so cool, this time it's so exciting. Several people laughed at the British gentleman who died under the knife. Although they were also covered with wounds, the joy in their hearts seemed to make them forget the pain. Brothers, what's the situation? Didn't you go to help Zhang Chen? Did you get the wrong location too? Everyone in the chat channel was clueless and didn't know which link had gone wrong. Great victory. Great victory. Although we failed to help Zhang Chen, we wiped out all 96 British gentlemen. They will never dare to shout in front of us again. 48 people against 96 people, and we survived 8 people. This is already a great victory. But we also suffered a lot of losses. Zhang Chen said in the channel, brothers, thank you for your activeness and help me stop the British people. Although you got the wrong position, it is a great credit that I didn't let the British people disturb me. Now I have been promoted to level 7, and my speed will definitely be faster than Douglas. It is a pipe dream for the British people to try to destroy us. Good. Great. I thought I didn't contribute to the boss. Okay, as long as I can help the boss, it's fine. Anyway, we are happy to kill those British people this time. Zhang Chen smiled and continued on his way. All the reward permissions just obtained add up to exactly one A-level reward permission. Enough to exchange for an A-level Qigong Grandmaster enhancement. A-level Qigong Grandmaster enhancement, rating 91, corresponding to S-level talent. After obtaining the Qigong Grandmaster enhancement, you can release the Qi and form a certain degree of Qi condensation. You must have the Qigong Master enhancement to continue to exchange for the Qigong Grandmaster enhancement. Qigong Grandmaster enhancement requires an A-level reward authority and 500 reward points. Do you want to exchange for the Qigong Grandmaster enhancement? Chapter 43 A-level exchange. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A strong light enveloped Zhang Chen's whole body. The true Qi in his body absorbed this power as if it were a sea that could hold hundreds of rivers and turn it into his own power for use. After more than 10 seconds, the Lord God retracted the light, and Zhang Chen also possessed the strength of a Qigong master. Even in novels, a Qigong master needs 60 years of time to practice. But the Lord God can easily give Zhang Chen 60 years of power. Zhang Chen opened his eyes, as if every cell in his body was cheering and jumping for joy, and there seemed to be endless power in his body. Just as Zhang Chen was happy, the Lord God made a cold and ruthless voice. The novice protection period ends when the first A-level reward is exchanged. All props will be exchanged at the original price in the future. Zhang Chen didn't even bother to look at his own attributes, and immediately checked the Lord God's exchange reward. The reward authority exchange did not change, but the reward points required increased significantly. The Qigong Master who just exchanged still needs an A-level reward authority, but the reward points require a full 10,000 points. The reward points for everything have increased 20 times. All the cheap stuff that could be exchanged originally has increased in price. Damn, isn't this just raising the price? I should have known that I wouldn't exchange for the A-level enhancement. It's too bad. Zhang Chen cursed and opened his attribute panel. If the attribute panel bonus is not high, he would be really cheated. Name, Zhang Chen. Level, 7, 1500 to 5000. Intelligence, 10. Mental strength, 50. Cell vitality, 180. Nerve reaction speed, 180. Muscle tissue strength, 200. Immune strength, 100. Comprehensive combat power score, 260. 206. Zhang Chen was stunned for a moment. You know, before the enhancement, he only had a comprehensive combat power of 130. Now it has more than doubled. The higher the combat power, the harder it is to improve. It is hard to say whether those who have reached level 7 have 100 points. Worth it, too worth it. Waving his hands, a huge amount of true energy condensed between the two palms and forced out of the body, shining. Ha! Zhang Chen shouted and exerted force towards the tree in front of him that was so thick that it took 3 people to hug it. Pa! The moment the true energy approached the surface of the tree was cut in half and collapsed. Taking a comprehensive consideration, the combat power of the second-level upper-level monsters is probably only about 150 points. I can easily crush them. Zhang Chen smiled. The reward authority is difficult to obtain, but in fact, the reward points are not difficult to obtain. As the attacking monsters become stronger and stronger, the reward points obtained are also increasing, and a 20-fold increase is nothing. Now that you can enter the broken battlefield during the day, the combat power has increased so much that Douglas's speed of killing monsters is impossible to catch up with him, not to mention that he still needs to find the gathering place of monsters. After thinking about it, Zhang Chen rushed to the edge of the place at night, and then found a big tree to climb up to rest, and then come back to hunt monsters in the daytime to recuperate. Here, let Douglas, the gentleman of the British country, be happy for a night, and let him know what despair is tomorrow. Zhang Chen was not in a hurry at all. On the contrary, others could not sleep all night and repeatedly tagged Zhang Chen in the chat channel hoping to know how Zhang Chen was doing. in the blink of an eye, it was morning. Zhang Chen stretched and rolled down from the tree. After stretching his muscles, he opened the chat channel and laughed at the anxious words of everyone. Then he ran to check the chat channel of the gentlemen of the British country. Although they were hit last night, they seemed to have regained their confidence this morning and started to shout again one by one. Lord Douglas is already level 7, 2300 to 5000, and he only has half the experience points to reach level 8. It's not hard to beat these rabbits. Lord Douglas didn't rest all night, he's so strong. Yeah, on the other hand, the guy named Zhang Chen in the 999th evolution spire hasn't been seen all night. Maybe he has died at the hands of the monsters. Maybe he is a coward, feeling too much pressure and dare not face the people in his channel. Otherwise, how could he not say a word? Zhang Chen saw this and said directly in the chat channel 999, everyone, my current experience value is level 7, 1500 to 5000. Although it is a little less than Douglas, don't worry, I will catch up with him and surpass him today. Master Zhang Chen, you finally spoke. Yes, we all thought you gave up on us. Everyone, how could I give up on you? We are all descendants of the dragon. To be honest, I was killing monsters all night yesterday, so I didn't have time to care about the things in the chat channel. Always support Master Zhang Chen. Master, come on, let those gentlemen who are in a difficult situation see how powerful we are. Zhang Chen smiled, his lying skills are getting better and better. He obviously slept for one night, but he insisted on killing monsters all night. I don't think I'm being too honest. Zhang Chen waved his hand, ate something, and stepped into the broken battlefield. The broken battlefield was overgrown with weeds, and there were weathered armor and weapons everywhere. The ruins tell of countless desolation and sadness. This should be an ancient city, it looks quite large. At this moment, there was a rustling sound in the weeds ahead. Zhang Chen held the corruption sword tightly and slowly approached it with breath held. Red Flame Rat, a second-level mid-level magic beast, has the power to manipulate fire. The Red Flame Rat's tail was burning with flames. When Zhang Chen made a move, it opened its mouth and sprayed a cluster of flames to burn the surrounding weeds. Zhang Chen dodged, and the corruption sword pierced the Red Flame Rat's back and pierced its body. Gain 120 experience points. Gain 50 bonus points. Sparks flew, the weeds all burned, and the temperature around them rose rapidly. Zhang Chen quickly pinched his nose and escaped from the weeds. This little guy is really going to cause trouble. After throwing away the body of the Red Flame Rat, the ground suddenly shook and trembled, 2 huge pincers broke out of the ground, and a huge black body slowly crawled out from the ground. Iron Pincer Alien Worm, a third-level lower-level magic beast, a mutant. Mutants have the power to control the elements of the land. Innate skill, Stone Shattering. Combat power evaluation 300, please be careful. As the Lord's prompt sound fell, the full picture of the Iron Pincer Alien Worm appeared in front of Zhang Chen. The Iron Pincer Alien Worm is similar to the Catalpa Worm, with 2 huge pincers on its head, 6 huge legs covered with barbs, and its whole body covered with black shells. The Iron Pincer Alien Worm opened its bloody mouth and a foul smell came to his face. Boom! The Iron Pincer Alien Worm raised its 2 legs and smashed towards Zhang Chen, and the ground suddenly collapsed and shook. Chapter 44 Evolution. Genetic Lock. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhang Chen dodged, but the surrounding soil and rocks all floated up and hit his body. Damn, this is a natural skill. Realizing the power of the skill for the first time, Zhang Chen could only curl up his body and release his true energy to protect himself as much as possible. Although the Iron Claw alien insect was burly, its speed was not slow. A large amount of soil and rocks hit Zhang Chen and buried him under the sand. The 2 huge iron pincers of the Iron Claw alien insect suddenly twisted towards the sand where Zhang Chen was buried. It was like a huge pair of scissors, and the hard stones were easily cut into pieces by it. Will I die? I will die. The air is compressed, the space is compressed, and a huge threat of death follows. Is this where I will be buried? Ordinary people are just ants on this evolutionary road after all. Must they accept the arrangement of fate? No. I, who have the Lord God, should not die here. I want to survive. I will definitely survive. Here Zhang Chen felt the threat of life and death for the first time, but the strong obsession of survival made his body secrete adrenaline crazily, as if he was excited by chicken blood. At the same time, Zhang Chen's eyes began to become dazed, his breathing became smooth, and everything around him seemed to slow down gradually, as if everything was so clear. Even in the dark, with sand everywhere, Zhang Chen could still clearly sense where the pliers would appear from. How should he dodge, how should he twist his body, and react at the last moment? After dodging the pliers twice in a narrow space, Zhang Chen broke out of the ground and chopped the head of the pliers alien worm with a sword. Clang! There was a sound like metal collision and friction, and sparks burst out. Zhang Chen's hands were numb and flew out. The effect of the corrupt sword could not even corrode the shell of the pliers alien worm. The hardness of this thing amazed Zhang Chen. At this time, Zhang Chen's eyes became dazed, and his mind no longer thought about other problems except how to kill the pliers alien worm. It seemed that something was opened in Zhang Chen's body. Whether it is speed, strength, concentration, or reaction, all have been greatly improved. Tip: become the first person to unlock the first level of the gene lock and get the title of beginner evolution. Tip: get 10 personal luck points. Personal luck points are very precious. With it, you may have the possibility of becoming the protagonist. Zhang Chen was fully focused. Although he heard the reminder of the heaven, he had no time to take care of it. He put away the corrupted sword and held the plasma dagger in his hand. At present, only this weapon could pose a threat to the Iron Claw alien worm. At the moment when the Iron Claw alien worm moved, Zhang Chen also moved. As if knowing the next move of the Iron Claw alien worm, Zhang Chen's action suppressed the Iron Claw alien worm first and stepped on its raised leg limbs fiercely. At the same time, the particle blade in his hand shook at a high frequency and cut off one of the Iron Claw alien worm's legs. Purple blood mixed with unknown liquid splashed all over Zhang Chen from the broken limbs of the Iron Claw alien worm. Zhang Chen seemed to have no feeling. He grabbed the limbs of the iron clamp alien insect with one hand and climbed up from its smooth shell. Balance, which is difficult for ordinary people, is child's play for Zhang Chen at this time. The vibrating particle dagger in his hand suddenly pierced into the eyes of the iron clamp alien insect and blinded one of its eyes. The iron clamp alien insect slapped Zhang Chen with its limbs like crazy, and Zhang Chen dodged them one by one. The violent movement threw Zhang Chen and made him roll on the ground several times. Zhang Chen stood up quickly with an expressionless face, raised his hand and cut the iron clamp attacking him. The strength of the plasma cutting blade cut off the iron clamp, but in just a moment, all the vibrations of the particles were ineffective. The particle dagger turned into an ordinary dagger and stuck on the iron clamp. Zhang Chen was also pulled up by the huge power of the iron clamp alien insect. Zhang Chen adjusted his body posture, poured all his true energy into his hands, and the moment he let go of the particle blade, he kicked his body with both feet like a cannonball and smashed towards the head of the iron clamp alien insect. The true energy in the body seemed to become more active under the mobilization of the gene lock, and was instantly drained and condensed on Zhang Chen's hands. At this time, Zhang Chen's hands flashed with a strong warm light and smashed towards the head of the iron clamp alien worm. The iron clamp alien worm raised one leg to block its head, but Zhang Chen smashed one of its legs with one punch, and ignored the piercing of the barbs on its body, and hit its head with the other fist. Roar! The iron clamp alien worm finally stopped with an unwilling and piercing roar, and its huge body fell down with a bang. When the dust fell to the ground, Zhang Chen's fists and arms were all broken. The effect of power is mutual. Although Zhang Chen's current body is far superior to that of ordinary people, after unlocking the gene lock and adding the power of all true energy, Zhang Chen's arms were completely destroyed. Gained 200 experience points. Gained 100 bonus points. Zhang Chen lay miserably beside the iron pincer's alien worm, his whole body black, spitting out mouthfuls of white foam of blood. The organs in his body were broken into pieces by the shock and piercing just now. Ugh! Zhang Chen's tendons and veins all over his body convulsed, and his body twitched. After unlocking the gene lock, a toxin will be produced in the body, which has devastating damage to the body. When the toxin attacks, even Zhang Chen's physical fitness can hardly resist it. Muscles spasmed, blood oozed from the pores. Zhang Chen was like a bloody man, bleeding profusely. Lord God! Zhang Chen gritted his teeth and yelled, "Repair the whole body." As soon as Zhang Chen finished speaking, his will relaxed and he fell into a coma. The Lord God flew out from Zhang Chen's palm, but fortunately it heard Zhang Chen's cry in the end. Warm light enveloped Zhang Chen's body and began to repair his body. The heart that had almost stopped beating slowly beat under the Lord God's treatment. The injuries on the body were also slowly healing, and the broken hands seemed to be reborn, from bones to veins, from veins to muscles and epidermis. At the same time, Zhang Chen's reward points were also being consumed crazily. The Lord God's treatment of ordinary physical injuries is very cheap, but the cost of unlocking the gene lock is extremely high, and it is also difficult to treat. I don't know if it's because his battle with the Iron Claw alien worm is too powerful, or because he is lucky. There is no monster around to disturb the treatment. Otherwise, Zhang Chen at this time, let alone the Warcraft, even ordinary special infected people can easily kill him. The Lord God's treatment lasted for half an hour, and Zhang Chen slowly woke up. At the same time, all the reward points obtained were consumed, and even Zhang Chen's experience points were deducted to be enough to repair the price of treatment. Zhang Chen, who woke up, felt like he was reborn, and this feeling was not good. Chapter 45: The Possibility of Gene Lock. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhang Chen slowly recalled the hint about the heavenly Tao. At the same time, he had a feeling about the status of the gene lock. He could still unlock the gene lock when he entered the crisis state again. Unlocking the gene lock was still a burden on the body, but it could be exchanged for superhuman strength. First evolution. Zhang Chen also got 50 points of freely distributed attributes when he obtained the title, except for intelligence and spirit, which did not need to be increased. Zhang Chen basically evenly distributed the 50 points of attributes on his mind. Zhang Chen looked at the hidden title and unfolded the Lord God and said, "Query the exchange of gene locks." The Lord God reminded, "There is no way to exchange the gene lock, and it can only be opened in the way of human beings." Lord God, do you have information about the gene lock? To exchange the basic gene lock information, you need 1000 points of reward and a C-level exchange authority. Note that the basic gene lock information only provides a brief introduction from the first to the third level. Do you want to exchange it? Yes. Although the price hurt Zhang Chen, it was also very important to figure out the problem of the gene lock. Even Zhang Chen himself felt that the combat power after unlocking the gene lock was exaggerated. A constant flow of combat awareness, the simplest and most effective way to fight, and at the same time, it can mobilize 70% of the muscle strength in the body. It can be said that the person who unlocked the gene lock has instantly entered the inhuman realm. He is absolutely sure that ordinary people who unlock the gene lock are even much stronger than those who have reached level 5 or even level 6. Zhang Chen was resting, completely ignoring the invasion plan of the number 99 evolution spire. At the moment, it is obviously more important to figure out the problem of the gene lock than the invasion combat plan. Holding the information exchanged from the Lord God in his hand and looking at it in detail, Zhang Chen opened his mouth wide and was extremely shocked. The gene lock information is like opening the door to a new world. The inherent talent in the human body is nothing more than a kind of ability that fits itself given by the heavenly Tao for the survival of all people. In fact, the power or evolution that humans need to stimulate the most is the gene lock. The information in Zhang Chen's hand has a brief introduction to the first to third levels of the gene lock, but in the head-up display of the information, the gene lock has a total of 5 stages. There are many cases in the world that defy common sense and are called miracles. For example, the famous hypnosis experiment, scalding people with cold iron bars. Another example is an old lady who lifted up a car to save her grandson, and a mother who saved her son from falling from a building in just 5 seconds, but this is only because of the rapid secretion of certain hormones in certain situations, which achieves a seemingly counterintuitive result. Even if they die of exhaustion, it is not because of gene collapse and potential exhaustion, but because of organ dysfunction caused by self-hypnosis and accelerated cell division during the outbreak, which exhausts the lifespan of the person. In the early stage of opening the gene lock, strong toxins will be produced. Unless the person has strong qualities or a lot of energy to buffer, it is extremely easy to die. This is the introduction of the gene lock, and the following is the opening and specific performance of each stage of the gene lock. Gene lock first stage. By facing the fear of life and death, people with strong obsessions can stimulate human potential. This is the first stage of the gene lock, restoring human fighting instincts and the ability to perceive danger. After opening, the body's strength will be oversqueezed and exceed the limit of the body's endurance, and the opener will fall into extreme pain and gene collapse. Most people who open the first stage of the gene lock will die because they cannot bear the side effects. As the number of times it is opened increases, when the body reaches the state of adaptation, the sequelae will become just the extent of muscle cramps throughout the body, and, as the gene lock is constantly mastered and used, one day it will be possible to unlock the first level of the gene lock infinitely. The second level of the gene lock. By facing the fear of life-threatening death, people with stronger obsessions can stimulate the potential of organisms. This is the second stage of the gene lock, being able to freely control 90% of one's body. The potential power is fully exerted, whether it is muscles, blood, nerves, and 5 senses, they are greatly strengthened, and even part of the energy flow in the body can be controlled. The liberation of the second level of the gene lock represents super strong recovery, reaction. Physical toughness and strength. After opening, it will cause muscle swelling, blood vessel blockage and other adverse symptoms because it exceeds the original limit of the body. After opening the second level of the gene lock, the sequelae of opening the first level of the gene lock are further reduced. Gene lock stage 3. By facing the danger of life and the fear of death, people with super strong obsession can stimulate the potential of life, which is the third stage of the gene lock, developing the brain area. In addition to the basic memory, intelligence, and thinking speed, the sixth sense is awakened and the teammates can be simulated to use their skills. It can also be used to perceive the enemy's psychological activities to predict the enemy's next attack. The sequelae of opening this stage of the gene lock are almost non-existent. Depending on the different states of the gene lock, there are also different performances for talents and exchange abilities. Take the exchange of the Lord God as an example. A-level enhanced ordinary people can only use 1 or 2% of their abilities. After unlocking the first stage of the gene lock, you can master 20% to 30% of the exchange power. After unlocking the second level of gene lock, you can master 40% to 50% of the exchange power. After unlocking the third level of gene lock, you can master 60% to 70% of the exchange power. Zhang Chen continued to read the following, but when he reached the fourth level of gene lock, there was no introduction, only the introduction of the first 3 stages. Zhang Chen is also very curious about the next 2 stages, but knowing the 3 stages in front of you is already a very remarkable thing. Currently, he is the first person to unlock the gene lock, but he is also the one without any talent. According to the introduction of the gene lock, once a person with talent unlocks the gene lock, his strength will increase by leaps and bounds. With this in his mind, Zhang Chen felt a little stressed. It's not that easy to unlock the genetic lock. Zhang Chen shook his head. This thing must wander crazily before life and death to have a chance to lift the restrictions. At the same time, the side effects after the first release are also very scary. It can be said that the chance of people surviving is 1 in 100,000 or even 1 in a million. Moreover, the matter of wandering between life and death is more likely to be triggered when you are weak, but it is not so easy to encounter when you are strong. Regarding this point, Zhang Chen should be grateful that he could encounter the third-level low-level iron clamp alien bug here at this time. Otherwise, when you become stronger and get more exchanges, this situation of wandering between life and death will not happen if you want to. Zhang Chen probably also understood why he was able to unlock the gene lock. My own mental power is originally stronger than ordinary people. This mental power may be understood here as the obsession with survival. Chapter 46 Tester. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhang Chen stood up with a smile. It was worth it to be able to gain the information and abilities of the gene lock. He patted the corpse of the iron claw alien worm in front of him. This guy was a great contributor, although he almost killed himself. I deducted a little experience points and wasted a lot of time. I have to catch up next. The sun was high in the sky, close to noon. It took more than 2 hours for the Lord God to repair. Zhang Chen must find a new monster as soon as possible to continue killing. He glanced at the chat channel of the 99th Spire, which was actually reporting Glass's progress in real time. Douglas now has level 7, 3400 to 5000, experience points, which is indeed not slow. And Zhang Chen only has a few hundred points left because of the Lord God's deduction. Fortunately, the broken battlefield is in front of him. This is the second-level monster area, and even third-level monsters may appear, so there is no need to worry about experience. Shuttled in the broken battlefield, one monster after another appeared in front of Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen also killed one by one, and killed two by two. These lower-level second-level monsters and even middle-level second-level monsters are not Zhang Chen's enemies at all. Zhang Chen doesn't even need to unlock the gene lock to easily kill these monsters. Sure enough, the Ironclaw alien worm is just an accident. My fighting power can still crush these second-level monsters. Zhang Chen didn't expect that he would startle the mutated Ironclaw alien worm just after entering the broken battlefield because of a red flame rat. The sun kept moving westward and time passed little by little. In a blink of an eye, it was the hottest time of the day. Zhang Chen stopped. He had just been hunting monsters crazily. In a few hours, he killed at least more than 20 second-level monsters. The surrounding grass and rubble were filled with the smell of blood. There was no living monster within a radius of 200 meters. Take a break. Zhang Chen found a high place in the collapsed rubble and stood on it. He just wanted to light a fire to roast some food, but he didn't expect the gravel under his feet to collapse. Zhang Chen reacted quickly and stepped on it, flipped in the air, and stood steadily. A beam of light shone in from the collapse above, and there seemed to be a basement below. Zhang Chen looked around with the light, and after confirming that there was no danger, he moved from his standing position to the center of the room. There seemed to be a tall building like an altar in the center of the room. On both sides of the altar, there were tripod furnaces that could be used to ignite flames for sacrifice. There seemed to be a statue in the center of the altar, with its eyes wide open and its 4 arms making different movements. The moment Zhang Chen touched the altar with both hands, the heavenly Tao prompt suddenly appeared. Prompt: ignite the altar flame, summon the tester, and obtain information about entering the main plane. Prompt: once the test begins, it cannot be interrupted, please choose carefully. Prompt: the first person to complete the tester's task can get 5 points of personal luck bonus. Zhang Chen was extremely stunned. He didn't expect that he could encounter such a secret place even if he fell from above. Is it really because my personal luck value has increased that I get this opportunity? Unfortunately, there is no way to check personal luck value in personal information. The luck value is illusory, but it has become a point that can be obtained in the heavenly Tao. Zhang Chen thought, once the test begins, it cannot be interrupted, which means that either you pass the test or you fail. The only outcome of failure is death, so you must be careful. Pulling out a lighter, Zhang Chen lit the tripod furnaces on both sides of the altar. The flames burned, and clusters of flames appeared on the surrounding walls, illuminating the entire room. The room in the basement is very large, as big as a basketball court. At the same time, the statue on the altar began to break, and the 4 arms seemed to come alive, crushing the stones and dust on the body, and getting bigger and bigger. Why do powerful things always express oppression by volume? Zhang Chen complained, and the entire altar was destroyed by the sculpture. The tester was red all over, with his hair standing upside down, and his face was ferocious. He had 4 arms and stared at the little Zhang Chen in front of him. This thing must be at least 7 or 8 meters high, right? Zhang Chen looked up at the tester, but the tester stretched out his hands and hit him, waving his 4 arms together, trying to flatten Zhang Chen. The 4 arms brought gusts of wind, and Zhang Chen immediately felt threatened, and the gene lock in his body was opened again. His eyes became blank, and a constant stream of combat consciousness was instilled into his mind. The moment the 4 arms hit him, Zhang Chen dodged through the gap, and at the same time, the corrupted long sword in his hand pierced one of the arms, fiercely cutting a huge bloody wound on the arm. Under Zhang Chen's precise operation, the tester's blood vessels were pierced, causing the tester to roar continuously. Although there are 4 arms, they are essentially no different from humans. The defense is not as good as the Iron Claw alien worm. After unlocking the gene lock, I can easily kill him. That with this thought in mind, Zhang Chen took the initiative to attack. His body was extremely flexible and easily dodged the attack of the 4 arms while constantly leaving a lot of scars on the 4 arms of the tester. The tester's eyes turned red, and his body speed and strength doubled. The place where the fist hit was full of debris, and the walls in the room were smashed into huge dents. Zhang Chen shrank his head. If he was hit by this, wouldn't his body turn into a small pancake? Almost. That the battle lasted for about 5 minutes. Although the tester in front of him attacked desperately, Zhang Chen was as slippery as a loach and he couldn't catch him at all. Zhang Chen continued to consume his physical energy, and the whole room was almost smashed into ruins by the violent tester. Zhang Chen, who was hiding behind the dust, looked cold, and the true energy in his body was running to the limit. He rushed out from behind the tester like a gust of wind. First, a sword pierced the tester's back and cut off its spine, and then the shaking of the plasma dagger in his hand cut off half of its neck. The bones, flesh and skin were connected to the head, but they were shaky. The tester wanted to struggle and twist his body, but the moment he twisted his body, his huge body also fell down. The upper body and the lower body were no longer connected, and its life became a candle in the wind, disappearing bit by bit. I didn't expect this thing to have such a strong vitality. Complete the test and get a copy of the information about entering the main plane. Just when Zhang Chen was about to give the tester the final blow to end its pain, the heavenly Tao reminded him to complete the task. Under the altar where the tester appeared, a golden treasure chest slowly appeared in front of Zhang Chen. Get 200 experience points. Get 100 bonus points. Get 5 personal luck points. These are the rewards for killing the tester. Zhang Chen endured the negative effects of opening the gene lock and opened the treasure chest with trembling hands. There is a scroll in the golden treasure chest, and this scroll is the treasure of the tester's guardian. Chapter 47 Main Plane Mission Exchange for Light Skill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Permit to enter the main plane. You can enter the main plane after completing all tasks. After entering the main plane, the evolution spire will automatically exist in the main plane, and there is no need to teleport to enter the plane. Each area is located in the same main plane. The earlier you enter the main plane, the easier it is to get a favorable position. 3 tasks to complete when entering the main plane. There is no time limit for the tasks of entering the main plane. First, complete the selection of the main position of the evolution spire. Second, all members are promoted to level 10. Third, kill the mutant elf king, kill the Tide Banshee, and kill the Valra half-dragon. Kill the above 3 monsters and obtain the dimensional crystal diamond for the energy activation of the evolution spire. After completing the above 3 tasks, the evolution spire can enter the main plane and start the real evolution journey. That the evolution spire basically teleports to small planes, or broken planes. The scroll task of entering the main plane can also be said to be a real key to open the door to the new world. Whether it is the novice mission or now, it is all small fights. Only after entering the real main plane, this evolution is just beginning. After all, these planes in front of us are too small, and there are not many materials and resources that can be obtained. The outside world is more exciting. We must go out, and the sooner the better. There is no doubt that the evolution spire that enters the main plane world first can take the lead. And in the end, 1,000 evolution spire will definitely collide in the main plane. It will be a big melee at that time. 1,000 evolution spire, 1,000 people in a spire. That's 1 million people. Zhang Chen continued to read on. There were positions for 3 magic beasts in the permission letter, but there was no mention of the tower owner, and the task of upgrading all members to level 10 is also more troublesome. In any case, this task must be completed. Tip: Zhang Chen obtains the permit to enter the main plane, and opens the entire plane area. Tip: since we are currently in the invasion operation plan, we will open the entire plane area after the invasion operation plan ends. Whether fighting or resting, all the people in the number 999 evolution spire received this prompt. Everyone was stunned, not knowing what happened. Boss Zhang Chen, what have you done again? Yeah, what is this permit to enter the main plane? It sounds so high-end. Wow, open the entire plane area. Does it mean that a place bigger than now will appear? Boss Zhang Chen, come out and explain. There is still half a day to go, how is your progress now? Zhang Chen did not answer, but continued to hunt the second-level monsters around. Since the task must be completed quickly, the first thing to do is to upgrade. After solving Douglas's problem, he can answer everyone's questions. Everyone must upgrade to level 10, maybe some tough measures will be needed. We can't let this group of people drag us down. Walking out of the ruins, Zhang Chen continued to kill monsters. The other group of gentlemen from the British country also got the news in the chat channel 999, but they were all confused and didn't understand what happened. Oh my god, what did those rabbits do again? Are they discussing the issue of opening the whole map? There is also something like the main plane, which is really strange. Are they paranoid? What weird things are they thinking about in their minds? Lord Douglas, you must win this invasion plan as soon as possible. Yes, no matter what their plan is, we don't care about them, just focus on upgrading. Don't make a fuss, Lord Douglas is dealing with a powerful D-level monster, this guy is too strong. Even Lord Douglas has to be careful. Oh, God bless. Day turned into night, the moon was overhead, and the stars were shining. Zhang Chen had already made a big circle in the broken battlefield, and his level was successfully upgraded to level 8. As long as there are enough monsters, I can reach level 10 in less than 2 days if I keep killing them. I don't need weapons for now, but I need a technique urgently. Zhang Chen felt that he was fighting completely on instinct at this time. Although it was easy to kill monsters, it was always a little bit lacking. Lord God, exchange for enhanced techniques. When the Lord God opened it, countless options appeared in front of Zhang Chen. Dugu 9 Swords. Exorcism Sword Manual, Sunflower Treasure Manual. I can't afford to exchange. Although these martial arts secrets are not expensive, they require exchange permissions. The exchange permission is the most fatal thing for Zhang Chen. It is too difficult to obtain, so Zhang Chen immediately selected the martial arts techniques that do not require exchange permissions. Qigong. Boxing. Swordsmanship. Compare the goods and throw them away. Those were all famous martial arts secrets just now, but here, they don't even have a name. Qigong can be used with Qi, Yuanli, magic, and other rule powers, rating 70. After using it, it can greatly improve speed and flexibility. Exchange for Qigong. What Zhang Chen wanted was a body movement like Qigong. Although he was fast when facing the monsters, he was still a bit clumsy, especially when encountering some flexible monsters. He is not as good as them. After exchanging Qigong, Zhang Chen immediately took action, and his body seemed as light as a gust of wind. He easily jumped to a height of 3 to 5 meters. If he jumped with all his strength, 7 or 8 meters would not be a difficult task. In terms of speed, he could reach a speed of 40 kilometers per hour, which is comparable to ordinary electric donkeys. Zhang Chen jumped up and down for a while and then stopped. The true qi in his body was consumed by 1/3, and he could only maintain it for half an hour at most by continuously performing Qigong. Even the true qi at the master level could not prepare for such consumption. Zhang Chen curled his lips. Although the improvement was indeed great, this consumption also made him very dissatisfied. The flames rose, the smoke drifted, and Zhang Chen roasted wild boar meat while watching the exchange project of the Lord God. As for what path he wanted to take, he had already thought about it, but the subsequent development did not seem to extend too much. After the Qigong Master, it was the acquired Extreme Realm, S-level exchange, followed by the Innate Realm, SS-level exchange. Although it is already very strong, it lacks the SSS level. After all, among the 10 billion people, someone may have SSS level talent, and of course I want the best. The Lord God has strict requirements. SS level is already the existence of the heavenly Tao SSS level, but there must be a direction that I missed. It's a pity that I couldn't find the existence of SSS level exchange after searching for a long time. Just when I was quickly skipping various enhancements, a low roar suddenly came from the surroundings. Zhang Chen immediately put away his mind. The aroma of barbecue attracted a large number of monsters. These monsters were salivating and stared closely at the barbecue in Zhang Chen's hand, as well as Zhang Chen himself. Chapter 48 Vitality Fruit Level 9. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I was just worried that I would kill all the monsters around me, and you guys came. You're here just in time. Zhang Chen threw the barbecue in his hand in front of the monsters. Several monsters almost fought over the barbecue. Zhang Chen used his qinggong, and his light and rotten long sword slashed across the heads of several monsters with a little cold light in the moonlight. The bloody smell instantly ignited the killing heart of the surrounding monsters. Under the firelight and the moonlight, the monsters showed their sharp fangs and claws, rushing towards Zhang Chen. After shaking off the blood on the rotten long sword, Zhang Chen used his qinggong to turn over and easily avoided the monsters' attacks. Instead, he easily cut the back of a monster with his sword flower. The moon was like a hook, and the blood was like cherry blossom petals spilled on the ground. The sword shadows were flying, the light and shadows were intertwined, and the monsters fell under Zhang Chen's sword one by one. Congratulations on reaching level 9. Name, Zhang Chen. Level, 9, 300 to 10,000. Intelligence, 10. Mental strength, 50. Cell vitality, 190. Nerve reaction speed, 190. Muscle tissue strength, 220. Immunity strength, 110. Comprehensive combat power score, 275. It has only increased by a dozen points since the last time, but when Zhang Chen opens the gene lock and circulates the true qi at the same time, the combat power will rise sharply. It is much higher than the attribute panel given by the heaven. Finally reached level 9. After getting the plan to enter the main plane, Zhang Chen worked hard to kill monsters. It is not surprising that he can reach level 9 within a day. After being promoted to level 9, Zhang Chen breathed a sigh of relief and went to the chat channel of the Gentleman of the United States in the 99th spire to dive. Brothers, Lord Douglas has reached nearly half of the experience value of level 8. But Lord Douglas also needs to rest. In order to win these 2 days, he only slept for 3 hours. Douglas worked hard. Thank you for your hard work. And the guy named Zhang Chen from the 999th evolution spire disappeared for another day. We will definitely win. Yeah, they actually believe in this kind of person. This kind of person is the most untrustworthy. There are many people who secretly criticize me, but the more you look down on me, the more desperate you will be. Zhang Chen does not dislike others looking at him like this. After all, the more so, the harder it will be to slap him in the face. As for his own side, since Zhang Chen said that he would concentrate on killing monsters and would not look at the chat channel, everyone did not react so much. At the same time, except for Zhang Chen, the top 3 are not far from level 8, Wang Yu, Li Ming, and Fan Tianao. Beside Li Ming, these 3 are not far from level 8, the rest of the top 10 are basically hovering in the experience area of half of level 7. Everyone was confident in Zhang Chen. They did not doubt Zhang Chen because of the slander of spire number 99. Instead, they cheered him up. Zhang Chen smiled and exited the chat channel. He looked around. According to the map, there should be an orchard around. The orchard is rich in vitality fruits. Using this vitality fruit can quickly restore physical strength. All the things he put on the shelf were sold out in 2 days. Although it was troublesome to continue to buy Warcraft corpses, he still had to do it. Looking at the moonlight to identify the direction, he immediately rushed to the orchard. The vitality fruits on the rows of fruit trees exuded a charming luster under the moonlight. The vitality fruits were slightly larger than apples, milky white, and very beautiful. Zhang Chen observed it for a while, raised his mouth and held the plasma-cutting dagger, and walked towards the fruit tree excitedly as if he had not found anything. A pair of blood-red eyes stared at Zhang Chen in the dark. Night Attack Black Bat, a second-level upper-level monster, has excellent vision in the dark night sky and can easily find prey 100 meters away. When Night Attack Black Bat discovered Zhang Chen also discovered Night Attack Black Bat, but the simple Night Attack Black Bat didn't know that it had been fooled. Zhang Chen stretched out his left hand and prepared to pick the vitality fruit. Just when Night Attack Black Bat thought that Zhang Chen was now the most relaxed to launch an attack, Zhang Chen's right hand had already raised up and used all his strength to urge the true energy to circulate in his arm. and the speed was faster than the flight speed of Night Attack Black Bat. The vibrating particle blade cut off its wings in an arc. Night Attack Black Bat, which was about the size of a keyboard, screamed and fell to the ground, twisting its body constantly, trying to fly with one wing. Zhang Chen sneered and stabbed the cold blade into its body to end its life. Gain 150 experience points. Gain 60 bonus points. In the dark night, no one can tell whether they are prey or hunter. Zhang Chen harvested a lot of fruits and worked as a hard gardener. It was too convenient to have the main god space. He could take away everything that others could not store. These fruit trees could be transplanted into his room to produce fruits continuously, and he could exchange them with others for the corpses of monsters. There were 10 fruit trees in total, and 60 fruits. All of them were put on the shelves. The corpses of monsters that had been obtained were no longer needed. Only the monsters that had not been obtained were needed. Similarly, only 5 corpses of one type were needed. Boss Zhang Chen. What's going on? These are all good things. You are so tired, and you still put these fruits on the shelves. Yeah, if you want the monster corpse, just talk directly. There's no need to trade with us. We'll just give you the monster corpse directly. You should keep these fruits for yourself. Yes, these fruits can quickly restore physical strength, which is very helpful for this invasion plan. Although everyone was jealous, they all had their eyes on Zhang Chen, and they all hoped that Zhang Chen could win as soon as possible. Zhang Chen wanted everyone to give them away for free, but there was nothing he could do. The exchange must put things on the shelves for trading, and ordinary stone piles and the like could not be put on the shelves, but soon the 60 fruits were exchanged out again, and Zhang Chen got a lot of bonus points. It's almost time, take a rest. The crescent moon in the sky has shifted, and it won't be long before dawn. In order to ensure his energy, Zhang Chen has to sleep at least 4 hours a day. When Douglas was fighting hard, Zhang Chen was sleeping. When Zhang Chen was fighting, Douglas was still fighting hard, but Zhang Chen's progress was far ahead of Douglas, and the gap was obvious. Master Zhang Chen, you finally showed up. Can you tell us about your current progress? Let us rest assured, that although everyone believed in Zhang Chen, someone still raised the most important question. Please rest assured, I have been promoted to level 9. I should be able to be promoted to level 10 in 2 days. After winning this plane invasion plan, I have something to tell you. I hope everyone is mentally prepared. Zhang Chen stopped talking after he finished speaking. He still had to tell everyone about the mission of entering the main plane after the mission was completed. Chapter 49 Unbelievable Huge Gap. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Impossible, absolutely impossible. How could that Zhang Chen have reached level 9? It must be a smokescreen, he's lying. Master Douglas, please stop resting. Zhang Chen is already at level 9 and you are still resting. Do you want all of us to be buried with you? Doubts, surprise, confusion, and panic filled the chat channel of the gentleman of number 99. Zhang Chen disappeared for 2 days and was promoted 2 levels in a row, while their Lord Douglas, who had been killing monsters day and night, was only a little more than halfway to level 8. What on earth did Zhang Chen do? Or that their Lord Douglas did nothing? Upon hearing the news that Zhang Chen had been promoted to level 9, Douglas, who had just fallen asleep, immediately opened his bloodshot eyes. The crazy killing of monsters started again. Even the people around him were unlucky and had to help him find and trap the monsters. Sir Douglas, this must be a lie. Let's rest for a while. We are too tired. Everyone followed Douglas with heavy steps. After 2 days, their physical fitness was severely reduced, and they could not sleep well or eat well. No matter what, we have to win. Do you want us to be beaten back to our original shape? We defeated the rabbits once, and we must win this time too. Douglas pulled the collar of the person in front of him and said ferociously. Yes, sir, I understand. Daytime, there is a dilapidated village in front of Zhang Chen, which is another good place in the broken battlefield shown on the map. There should be a treasure chest here. The houses in the village have long been in disarray and collapsed, with scattered thatch and decaying bones everywhere. Zhang Chen stepped into the dilapidated village with one foot. Suddenly, all the bones lying on the ground slowly stood up. They slowly approached Zhang Chen with weathered and rusty shields and weapons in their hands. The second-level white bone skeleton is in the middle. Although its body is fragile, it is extremely fast because it only has bones. Zhang Chen smiled. At this time, what he was least afraid of was others playing speed with him. More than a dozen skeletons launched a charge to attack Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen used Qinggong and was as light as a swallow. He held a corrupt sword in both hands and rushed into the formation like chopping melons and vegetables. The moment the corrupt sword collided with the bone skeleton's weapon, the sword in the bone skeleton's hand was shattered. At the same time, the huge force also shattered the bone skeleton's arm. A pile of broken bones fell to the ground, and Zhang Chen was a little stunned. The same goes for other white bone skeletons next, easily shattering their weapons and shattering their bodies. A dozen white skeletons collapsed under Zhang Chen's powerful attack, and the battle lasted only a few dozen seconds, as if they were born against each other. These skeletons were helpless against the fast and powerful Zhang Chen. After easily gaining a lot of reward points and experience points, Zhang Chen is still not satisfied. It would be better if there were more skeletons. After eliminating the skeletons, the village was very safe. Zhang Chen looked for the treasure box, and finally found a treasure box in a relatively intact house. Get a sea-level treasure chest. Get the refined sword. Get refined armor. Get the refined combat boots. There are actually 3 pieces of high-level equipment in the sea-level treasure chest, which is really surprising. These are all rubbish. Zhang Chen shook his head. You must know that he is still a novice now, so it would be great to have a piece of advanced equipment. After getting 3 almost complete sets in one go, Zhang Chen is probably the only one who still dislikes them very much. If Zhang Chen's expression and tone were known to others, I don't know how many people would be angry to death and jealous to death. The so-called Versailles is probably like this. Just put 3 pieces of refined equipment on the shelves, each corresponding to 5 monster corpses. You only need 15 corpses to get 3 pieces of refined equipment. 1 stone stirs up 1,000 waves. Zhang Chen didn't expect everyone's reaction to be so exaggerated. Except for a few people who ranked extremely high, everyone else was almost begging for redemption. Is this thing so good? Zhang Chen complained. After all, in his opinion, these are just scrap metal. Brother Zhang Chen, may I ask what weapon you are using now? Boss, high-end weapons. We are still killing monsters with weapons that are not even whiteboards. Oh, a great god is a great god. Why is the gap between people so big? It's a pity that we don't have anything good to exchange for it, that the weaker monsters have basically been exchanged once, and all first-level monsters have been eliminated. At present, if everyone wants to exchange, they can only use the corpses of second-level monsters. But it was still very difficult for everyone to face the second-level monsters, so they asked Zhang Chen if they could exchange them for other things. As far as he is concerned, he lacks nothing but the reward authority. If he can really redeem it, Zhang Chen wants everyone's lives even more. Obviously this doesn't work. Zhang Chen is not in a hurry and sells slowly. This can better motivate this group of people to hunt high-level monsters, and also allow them to upgrade their levels as quickly as possible. Because of the equipment problem, Zhang Chen also had another idea in his mind. There's nothing worth looking for here. There are no good things around. Apart from seeing whether you can encounter the subdimensional by luck, the only thing to do is to improve your experience. Zhang Chen worked hard, and the monsters around him seemed to be scared of him. As soon as they saw Zhang Chen, they started to run away. Zhang Chen, who was covered in blood, was like a demon killer. Wherever he went, blood flowed like a river. While Zhang Chen was working hard, others were not idle either. Hundreds of people on the leaderboard were chasing each other. 2 days passed, and Zhang Chen showed up in the chat channel again. Master Zhang Chen, how are you? It's been 2 days, and you're almost level 10. Almost. Impossible, Lord Douglas is only level 9, and he's about to reach level 10. 1 level difference in experience. Too scary. The British people didn't believe this fact and were all exclaiming. Douglas was already killing monsters like crazy, and he didn't believe that Zhang Chen could reach level 10 so quickly. no matter how you think about it, it's impossible. Even if Zhang Chen was originally faster than him, time is equal to both of them. A person only has 24 hours a day, he only slept for 5 hours in total these days. And during these 5 hours, someone even took turns to help him find monsters and even drive them away. It can be said that he didn't waste any time. What about Zhang Chen? He didn't ask for help. He killed the monsters alone. Even if he didn't rest for an hour, he couldn't be so much faster than himself. Douglas felt something was wrong no matter how he thought about it. He was almost possessed. If he knew that Zhang Chen slept 4 hours a day and was still so comfortable, I wonder if he would be so angry that he would die. Chapter 50 Victory. The Devil's Proposal. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A red flame rat fell under Zhang Chen's sword. The reminder from heaven has arrived as promised. Tip: congratulations to all members of Evolutionary Spire number 999 for receiving a total of 10,000 experience points. Tip: congratulations to all Evolution Spire number 999 for obtaining 20 points of freely allocated attributes. Tip: congratulations to Evolution Spire number 999 for receiving a 10-point luck reward. Tip: congratulations to Evolution Spire number 999 for receiving double resource rewards. Tip: Zhang Chen was the first to be promoted to level 10, and was awarded the title of Escape Rookie. He was also awarded an additional 10 points of freely allocated attributes. 30 attribute points are still evenly allocated to physical enhancement. Zhang Chen doesn't care much about these attribute values now. His combat effectiveness cannot be measured by physical attribute values at all, but other people couldn't be happier with these rewards. 20 points reward. How much is the reward each time you level up? They won both invasion battles and received 40 reward points in vain. What more bikes do you need? Failed. Douglas dropped the body of the monster in his hand and looked up at the sun in the sky. The sun was shining brightly, but this sunny day seemed to be a mockery of his overestimation. Oh my God, we failed. Lord Douglas failed. These rabbits actually. This way our record will be 1 win and 1 loss. How could this happen? It's so disappointing. Master Douglas, why weren't you so confident at the beginning? What everyone doesn't know is that Douglas is actually the biggest victim. After all, he was the one who initiated the invasion plan, but now that it failed, he would have to bear double the punishment. The black light and the white heavenly light fell respectively. Winners and losers are treated very differently. It's a done deal. No matter how much everyone complains and moans, it doesn't make any sense. Tip: the invasion plan is completed. The evolutionary spires on both sides have begun to restore order, and the leaderboard list has been opened at the same time. Tip: the entire map of evolutionary spire number 999 is open, and the permission to settle in the main plane has been activated. Zhang Chen received another reminder on his side. Tip: the novice period ends early. The title of 100-man killer will no longer provide buff-debuff effects. When entering the main plane, the title of 100-man killer will return to normal. Zhang Chen exhaled. It turns out that level 10 is the transition to the novice stage. After using it after breaking away from the title of rookie, you can increase your luck. The invasion plan has been completed, and now it is time to put the matter of settling into the main plane on the agenda. Everyone's joy was not over yet. Zhang Chen spoke in the chat channel. The title of rookie is hanging in front of his name, which is very conspicuous. Please stop and listen to me. What I want to talk about now is about the entry permit for the main plane. We are still novices at this time, and this place is just a broken small plane. If you want to evolve and get more, you have to go to a bigger world. The main plane is our first step in evolution. But there are restrictions on entering the main plane. All evolutionary spires can enter the main plane, but currently we should be the only ones who have activated the permission. The sooner we can enter the main position, the better it will be for us. But entering the main plane requires completing several conditions. There are 2 conditions that require everyone's collective efforts. The first one is that all members must be promoted to level 10, and the other is the choice of the tower owner. First of all, you must all advance to level 10, and then complete the selection of the master of the tower. There are currently 625 people left in the evolution spire, and there are more than 100 people below level 6. I hope these more than 100 people will not hold us back. After Zhang Chen finished speaking, the chat channel became abuzz. Everyone swears that evolution spire number 999 will be the first to enter the main plane. Don't worry, Master, we will definitely upgrade. Now that the entire map is open, we can all obtain map information, and killing monsters has become a lot easier. Yeah, double resource rewards are great. There are more monsters around. Boss, there's something I don't really want to say, but we don't mean to hold back. We don't have any useful weapons. Many D-level monsters are very powerful. Our awakened talents are rubbish. Even if we form a team, it will be difficult to kill them. Too little experience gained. Wang Yu said, what the people below Zhang Chen said is also true. I don't think there is anyone who doesn't want to upgrade as soon as possible. But after the novice mission is over, the strength of the monster is obvious. I understand. I will provide you with refined weapons, but my requirement is that everyone be promoted to level 10 within 10 days. If I can't be promoted, I will adopt an elimination system. Take the lowest level as an example, kill them all. At the same time, it will be extended for 5 days. If there are still people who have not reached level 10 after 5 days, then I will continue to kill them until everyone reaches level 10. Do you have any questions? Zhang Chen revealed his demonic nature, and everyone looked at Zhang Chen's speech in silence. Are you kidding me? It must be a joke, reaching level 10 in 10 days. Ha ha ha, it must be a joke, but don't worry, Master, we will definitely upgrade. I'm not kidding. The atmosphere in the chat channel became very tense for a while. Zhang Chen said coldly, of course you can choose not to accept my refined weapons. In this way, I can ignore those who don't have weapons. Once you use my weapons, you must follow my plan. Those who can't complete it, I'm sorry, they all have to die. Zhang Chen, don't talk too much, don't think you are the first place, you can be so arrogant just because you helped us win the invasion plan twice. Yeah, what right do you have to say these words? Some big guys couldn't stand Zhang Chen's appearance and immediately spoke up. Wang Yu said, everyone, Zhang Chen didn't force you, it was all voluntary, there is no need to blame each other for this matter. It's all for everyone's good, but his approach is a bit extreme. Zhang Chen had already picked out the weapon from the Lord God, nickel alloy sword, only 10 points of exchange for one, cheap and durable. If you need it, please private message me, and I will put a batch of high-level weapons on the shelves. But if you take my weapons, you have to follow my rules. I will remember your names and appearances, don't blame me for not reminding you, if you don't complete it, you will die. That the chat channel fell silent, but most members are willing to take risks and get Zhang Chen's weapons. We are already one step behind, and it is even more difficult to upgrade without weapons. At this time, we can only take a gamble. Upgrading to level 10 in 10 days is not much different from the novice task, and the experience value of Warcraft is 100 times higher than that of zombies, so we can upgrade. People have been chatting with Zhang Chen privately one after another. Zhang Chen also began to exchange nickel alloy swords continuously, and the trading requirements were just a Warcraft corpse and upgrading to level 10 in 10 days.